Over the years, there has been much discussion over what the canon Zelda timeline is like, but today I'm not here to talk about the canon timeline. Hello, I'm Sam, and today I'll be placing all the non-canon Zelda games in the timeline, from the good to the bad to the really weird. Let's hop into it. The first ever Zelda spin-off was Zelda for the Game & Watch. The story revolved around a couple of dragons stealing Princess Zelda. Given how most of its marketing used images from the original Zelda, it's safe to say this takes place after that one. The next spin-off released was The Legend of Zelda Game Watch. Not the Game & Watch, just the Game Watch. The story revolved around a couple of dragons stealing Princess Zelda again. Because this game used more marketing from Zelda 2, I think it's safe to say it takes place after that one with the same link. The next two Zelda spin-offs to be released are the notoriously bad Link the Faces of Evil and Zelda the Wand of Gamelon. These two games are interesting due to them sharing one key element with the similarly bad Zelda TV show, that being King Harkinian. This implies that Link from the two CDI games are the same Link from the two NES games. Given how we only see the Triforces of Wisdom and Power, it's clear it takes place before Zelda 2, and the older Link design implies it's after Zelda for the Game & Watch. Zelda's Adventure for the CDI is up next. Due to Zelda's dress design, I think it's safe to say that this is meant to be the Zelda from A Link to the Past. The fact that Link is still around to be kidnapped implies that this takes place before his trip in Link's Awakening, meaning it fits in between A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening on the timeline. Ancient Stone Tablets is next, which is a reimagining of A Link to the Past, akin to A Link Between Worlds. We're actually told that this game takes place 6 years after A Link to the Past and features a protagonist who isn't Link, implying that this game takes place after the events of Link's Awakening. Next up is freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Ruby Land, which I believe to take place some years after the Wind Waker saga. This is because Hyrule is just a series of islands, just like in the Wind Waker saga. Next up is Tingle's Balloon Fight. I believe this takes place in between Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. This is because we see the Tingle Tower in the background, which implies that this is the same Tingle from Wind Waker rather than the one from Rosy Ruby Land. Next up is Link's Crossbow Training. Given how Link never left the forest before the events of Twilight Princess, we can safely assume this game takes place after that one. The Too Much Tingle pack takes place after Rosy Ruby Land, as we see the character of Chico's mom from that game. Next is Ripened Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love. In this game, Tingle accesses an alternate dimension, and in said dimension you can find a poster advertising the Too Much Tingle pack. This could either be just a cheeky fourth wall break, or an implication that the Too Much Tingle pack is a piece of in-universe software based on the events of Rosy Ruby Land. Either way, Balloon Trip of Love takes place after the Too Much Tingle pack. Hyrule Warriors is up next. This game's placement is a tad confusing with all the time hopping that goes on, but I can confidently say that this game takes place in the Child Timeline. This is because we see the era of Twilight Princess referred to as a point in history, while the era of Wind Waker is referred to as an alternate dimension. Given how we never see any time portals from the era of Four Swords Adventures, I say it takes place before then. Next is My Nintendo Twilight Princess Picross. In this game, we see Midna is still in her imp form, which means it has to take place before the events of Twilight Princess. Next is Cadence of Hyrule. We see a young Ganondorf, and the description for the Kokiri sword states that it's designed for a future hero, which implies that this game was meant to take place before Ocarina of Time. There are some complications with this placement though. Firstly, the Rito Feather. The Zoras only evolved into the Rito during the adult timeline, so why would there be a Rito Feather here? Well, it's implied that the Zora's evolution into the Rito was caused by them supernaturally using value scales. So there's a possibility that there was some form of Rito in the pre-adult timeline. This is even supported by some Rito-like illustrations we see in Twilight Princess HD. The second issue is the yellow stripe on Link's hat in his official artwork. This is a feature exclusive to the Downfall timeline. However, I believe this actually supports this placement more than it hurts it. In the Downfall timeline, the Hero of Time fails, so why would the Hyruleans base an outfit off of him? It would make more sense to base the uniform off of a hero who saved the world more recently, such as Link from the Kingdom of Hyrule. Next is the version of Vermin from the 35th anniversary Zelda Game & Watch. Given how this Link shares the same toy design as the Link from Link's Awakening, I think it's safe to say it takes place during the events of that game. Finally, we have Age of Calamity, which is confirmed to take place 100 years before Breath of the Wild. If you want to know about the scrapped third Oracle game, click here. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.